Mind your own beeswax. Hey, counting up. Lean back.
Welcome to Mind Your Own Beeswax. My name is Grace, and this is the podcast where I give you all of my hot tips and my hot takes, teaching you how to change your mindset and to live a rich life. How are you today? I hope that your week is going well. I hope that your vibes are high. And you know what? If they're not, that's okay. Maybe listening to today's episode is going to help raise your vibration, bring some good juju into your life. That is my intention for this episode, to bring you some joy, to teach you maybe some new things, and to just have a beautiful conversation. This episode today is such a fun one, and I'm really excited to chat to you about it. I feel like if I was like having a cup of coffee with you, we were like at a cafe, this is something I would be like, hey, can I just like tell you about this thing I've learned about and that I'm trying in my life because it's so exciting. So thank you for creating space for me to talk about this. But I want to tell you about using your home to achieve your goals, using your home to manifest and creating intention and energy within your home. Now, this has sort of like come to my awareness, perhaps let's call it, through Feng Shui. I feel like Feng Shui is something that I've heard people talk about. It was coming up in my social media feed. It was just kind of like coming into my awareness, and I've kind of like leaned into it. I've read a book on it, I've listened to a couple of episodes, and it's something that I feel like I really find interesting. I would say I find it interesting. I feel like it's something that I want to dip my toes in the water to. So I find it interesting, but there's a lot of parts of Feng Shui that I'm like, sorry, unsubscribe. I'm not doing that. So I'm kind of like I'm half in, half out. And so I want to share that with you today. Now, if you don't know what Feng Shui is, let me fill you in. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that focuses on creating harmony between individuals and their environment. You can do this by arranging your living or workspace to optimize the flow of qi, and qi is vital life force. And by doing this, it can help improve the overall quality of your life, health, and prosperity, and help achieve your goals. Interesting, right? Who doesn't want to have a better quality of life, better health, and better prosperity? And when you really dig into Feng Shui, there's lots of books and podcasts out there, and there's some incredible results that people have gotten from it. People talk about, they've really leaned into it and really done it. And, they've focused on their career through Feng Shui and they get an amazing new job or they make heaps of money. There's some really, really great stories out there. And it really adds to the appeal for me. Now, like I said, I want to clarify, I feel like some of the Feng Shui practices are a little bit too far for me. So, as an example, Chinese, I guess, culture, and when I go to my acupuncture, she talks about that, is there's the five elements. So there's wood, earth, metal, water, and fire. I was missing fire. And in Feng Shui, it talks about how you should have those elements in your home. So a lady I follow on Instagram who's a Feng Shui specialist, I guess, she talks about having those in her home. And she believes that you need something like 40 kilos of metal in your home. And that's where it loses me a bit. I'm like, sorry, having 12, 20, 30, 40, whatever kilos of metal in my home, I just think that that's going to like suck up dust. I don't know. I'm like, I don't believe in that. But there's other things I believe in. So something I have done is that Feng Shui has different areas of the home. So, what you're meant to do is you're meant to get your house plan. So, if you've built your house, you might have it on handy. Maybe you can get it from the real estate, but you want like the floor plan of your home. And you kind of just want to like connect up the edges to make it a space. So, even if you have like a patio or an area missing, you want to make the outline of your home one big square or rectangle shape. And then you want to add three squares, sort of like going each way so that you have 9 equal spaces. And then you use a compass to map out north, west, south, and east. And each of those 9 squares represents an area of your home. So, for example, the center square, that is the center of your home. So it's kind of like the heart of your home. That's the middle. That's where all the energy is directed to. The north square of your home, that represents your career. The east square represents your family. Love is in the southwest of your home. Fame and your reputation lives in the south of your home. Again, I sort of read this and I'm like, oh, I think it's quite cool and it's interesting, but I don't know if I fully subscribe to it. But when you really lean into Feng Shui, they talk about, like I said earlier, like if someone wants to work on their career, you could focus on the north area of your home. So, something I did recently is that the southeast of my home is like wealth, and then the south is sort of like fame and public recognition. And for me, this podcast is something I'm really passionate about, and I really want to drive it. I want it to be my full time gig. I want to make money from it. We've got big goals. So I sort of think fame and wealth, okay, that's the south and the southeast of my home. And for me, the south is my walk in wardrobe, and the southeast is our bathroom. And I sort of looked at those two areas. And when I looked at it, the south, my wardrobe, it's a fucking mess. There's like a laundry baskets with clothes hanging out. One of my drawers is so full. The front of the drawer has come off. The bathroom probably needed a bit of a clean and was messy. And so Feng Shui talks about you need to have it clean, need to have it organized. And if you imagine the energy flowing through those spaces, that's where, those laundry baskets, that's blocking that energy. The drawer that's broken, that's blocking that energy. All the shit that was covering my bathroom cabinet and sink, that's blocking that flow of energy. So I vacuumed the carpet, I put all the clothing away, I cleaned the bathroom, I opened the window, and I smoked some sage through there. And I could feel it. I was like, ooh, it feels nice in here. And tell me why, if you don't believe in feng shui, tell me why when you clean your house and you have a clean home, it feels better. I think back to being a kid and like my mum would vacuum and mop and she would put on Nora Jones and smoke some incense, and like all the windows would be open, the fans would be on, and you could feel that energy of the home. You could feel it just felt clean and it felt good. If you know that feeling I'm talking about, that is feng shui. And like I said, there's a lot of weird shit. The mapping of your house, the 5 elements, I don't know. But when you feel that, like, oh, it's clean in here, the vibes are good, that is feng shui. And when I felt that, I sort of shifted. I was like, hang on a minute. I get it. I get it. I may not need 20 kilos of metal in my home, but I feel the feng shui energy. So I'm really here for it. I'm absolutely here for the feng shui vibes. Another great example of this is if you work at a desk and your desk is an absolute pigsty, messy, it's so hard to concentrate and you're so much less productive. But if you clean that desk and you organize it, tell me why it feels better. You feel organized, you feel empowered, you feel like, yes, I'm gonna get shit done. That's feng shui. Like, honestly, I'm no expert, but you cannot tell me that feeling is not feng shui. So I am so here for it. And when I think about it, I really realize why I vibe with feng shui so much. So over the last, I think it's been like 8 or 9 years now, I've been renovating my house. And equally, I'm someone who is very goal driven. I love working on myself. And I think it just goes hand in hand. Like, you want to create that beautiful home and you want to achieve your goals. And I love the concept of your home has a soul. And that's what Feng Shui talks about. Your home has a soul. And everything that happens in your life, it happens in your home. If you have a bad day at work, you go home and you unpack those emotions, you unpack those feelings, you feel those feelings in your home. If something amazing happens, maybe you get married and you're so happy, you and your partner live in that home and you create memories in that home. Whatever is happening in your life, good or bad, that energy and emotion is living with you in your home. And also think about it like when you're at work and you're having a long day, or maybe you've been on holiday and you're just thinking about, oh, fuck, I can't wait to get home. You know, when you have that feeling, you're like, God, I can't wait to get home. And you like just kick your shoes off and you throw your bag and you just like flop down on the couch. Like that moment, you're thinking about your home, and whether you love your house or you hate it, your home is where you go. And so you have to acknowledge how incredible and how special your home is. So, why not get the most out of your home? Why not give it the love that it deserves? And why not use it to achieve your goals and become a better person? So, Grace, I hear you saying, okay, I'm with you. I subscribe to this. What do I do? Well, Feng Shui is all about decluttering. So, if you have an area of your home that is full of clutter, imagine that it is an energy blocker. So, perfect example, if you have a really cluttered entry to your home, maybe like where your front door is, say you have a cabinet, and you know, you have one of those shit drawers that's just full of like keys and bloody old matches and receipts and just random shit. That is a bit of an energy blocker. So you want to declutter it. And when things are organized and clean and spacious, that's when the energy can flow through. So if you want to make a start, just declutter one thing. You don't have to declutter your whole house yet. Obviously, that's what we want to get to. Just declutter one thing and sit with it. See how it feels. And tell me it does not feel better. The second thing that I would recommend that you do, if you can, is open up all your doors and windows and just let the fresh air flow. And again, tell me that you do not feel that energy, because when I do that, especially I like to do it after I vacuum and mop, I open all the doors and windows. You can feel it. You can feel the feng shui energy. You can feel the good vibes. And if you really want to dial this up, open all those windows and doors. And especially when you open your front door, say, I welcome in good things. Say, I welcome in good energy. I love doing this. And you could do this even in the morning. Let's say you wake up in the morning, when you go to the bathroom, you just open the window. When you open that window, say, I welcome in great things. You can say, show me how good it gets today. The third thing that you can do is wash your front door and entryway. Make it nice and clear, get rid of any dirt, any dust, any leaves. Reset your front door, give the door a wash, wipe it down, sweep out the entryway, shake out your doormat. And when you reset this front entryway, it allows that energy to come in. You can stand there and you can say, come on in, good energy. But when it's clean and clear at the start of the home, that's when the energy can just flow right through. So if you want to make a start, declutter a space, open your doors and windows and welcome in that good energy, and just give your front entry a little tidy up. And these are all things that I like to do. I cleared out my front doorway. I've been slowly decluttering. I will put my hand up and say I have a lot of things still to declutter, but I'm getting better. I love when I vacuum and mop, opening the doors, opening the windows, and I will always burn some sage because I'm really big on burning sage is really great for clearing out that negative energy. And sometimes I'll get one of those sage smudge sticks and I'll smoke it into all the corners, and I'll just imagine all that bad energy totally dissolving. Another feng shui practice I've heard is that your stove is the center of your home that holds your wealth. And so I saw a TikTok of a lady where she's like cleaning her stove. And as she cleans it, she says, thank you for all the money. Thank you for all the wealth. I'm so grateful for the money I have in my life. And of course, I thought I've got to try this. So Every time I wipe down my stove, I think I'm so grateful for all the money I have. I'm so grateful that I'm wealthy. I'm very, very grateful for my home. And it's just this practice. And now every time I wipe down the stove, it's a habit to think those thoughts. So you should keep the stove clean because it means that the energy and the money and the good wealth will keep flowing if you have a clean and clear stove top. And yes, I do hear myself say this and go, is this a bit too far, red car? Maybe it is a little bit woo woo, but you know what? Why not give it a go? And this is something I love is that when I clean, I really like live in this state of delusion that as I'm cleaning, I'm like, well, no, I'm feng shuiing the house. Like, I'm not just cleaning the stove and the countertops. I'm actually working towards my goals. I'm actually manifesting. I'm actually bringing good energy into this home. And so, when I'm walking around the house smoking my sage, or sometimes I even walk around with my sound healing bowl, smacking it and imagining those vibes going away. I'm like, yes, this is not just cleaning. This is feng shuiing. Like, this is habit stacking. This is multitasking. I'm not just tidying and cleaning this house. I'm bringing in good vibes. I'm achieving my goals. I am making a step towards my dream. And that's like the beauty of it is that if you can layer cleaning, which we all have to do, layer it with feng shui. And as you're cleaning, set that intention that, yes, cleaning this mirror and getting rid of all those smudges, that's going to let the energy flow through better. I love it. Live in a state of delusion, my friends, and imagine that cleaning is feng shuiing. I'm so here for it. A really good quote that I saw on Pinterest, it says, when a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower. And I was like, ooh, this is like feng shui. Think about it. If you have a flower and it's all like sad and floppy and it's a bit dry, you water it, you put better soil on it. Maybe you'll put some like seed stuff, like chemical things down to help it grow. You're not fixing the flower, you're fixing the environment of the flower. That's what feng shui is, working on your environment to support you and help you with your goals, help you feel happier, help you feel healthier, help attract good things into your life. That's what feng shui is all about. So, if you are not feeling well right now, I actually want to give an example. My partner has had gastro the last week. He's been so unwell, so sick. I, every single day, have just been doing a little bit of feng shui to support him. So, what have I been doing? I've been opening up our bedroom like door so that it's wide open to the outside and just letting that fresh air in. And every time I make the bed, I've been like really flicking up the sheets and just thinking, I let go of all that negative energy. I welcome in healing energy and just like letting the energy flow into our bedroom. And by having the window open, I know that like those unhealthy energies are going to flow out, good energies are going to flow in. I've been keeping all the doors and windows open and just really letting that energy flow in. And it feels so much better. It definitely feels better. I'm not saying that I'm a doctor and it's definitely not medically helping his gastro, but it's just helping the energy feel better. So, whatever your goals are, think of your goals right now. Can you use feng shui and use your home to get closer to your goals? Can you declutter? Can you let some fresh air in? Can you just set the intention every time you clean? Okay, I'm not just cleaning, I'm welcoming in good energy into my home. I love it. I'm so here for it. I'm in my feng shui era. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope that this podcast has been interesting, has been exciting, and maybe it's something you haven't heard before. I love bringing you these things that really just appeal to me. I feel like if I enjoy them, so will you guys. And like I said, I don't fully subscribe to the full extent of feng shui, but I just want to add a little bit of it into my everyday life. And I think there's so many mindset practices, there's so many habits, there's just so much bullshit out there. you don't have to be doing all of them. You can just do a little bit of it. Maybe you do something each day, once a week. Maybe you just sort of like me and you're like, nah, I kind of believe in it. I'm not fully there, but I just like a little bit of it. Whatever it is, whatever those practices are that make you feel good. And maybe like me, it's just a state of delusion where you're like, yeah, this works. This feels good. If it feels good, my friend, do more of it. Who cares? It doesn't matter if there's science behind it. Don't let anybody tell you different. If there's something you like doing and it feels good to you, just do it and it will make your life so much better. Sitting here and telling you about my little Feng Shui habits and how much love and energy I've been giving my home, I feel so lit up. I feel so excited. Like after I finish recording, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go smoke some sage. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to open the windows. I might like wash down my front door. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's cleaning. I'm excited to clean. Like, what? I love it. I'm so excited for it. It feels good to me. So I'm just here living in my state of delusion, living my best life, achieving my goals through a bit of feng shui. So let me live my life. I did also want to add, if you're interested in mapping out your home, doing the 9 squares of feng shui for your home, if you can get your house map, just upload it into ChatGPT or Gemini and say, please map out my home in the 9 squares of feng shui. You do need to make sure that you know which way is northwest, southeast. Make sure you do input that in your ChatGPT prompt, but it will be able to map out your home and you'll be able to see all those areas. And maybe you'll see, like maybe your career is not going very well, you're really unhappy in your job, and maybe that area ends up being like your laundry and it's just like this really messy room that's like a bit yucky. Like, clean it out. Clean that room out, declutter it, tidy it up, maybe put in a bunch of like flowers or a nice plant or some crystals, whatever it is, clear that space out and see if it makes a difference. Try it for yourself. Like I said, wipe down your stove and imagine all that wealth coming into you and knowing that the stove is the wealth center of your home. Just have a go and see what happens. I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for listening today. I trust that this episode will find you at a time that you need it the most. So if you think this is your sign to feng shui your home, it absolutely is, my friends. Thank you for being here with me today. As always, I love you. Bye.
Mind your own beeswax.